Did you know that the ancient Stoics believed our lives could be dramatically transformed simply by changing our thoughts? This isn't just old philosophy. It's a proven science that top performers and successful people tap into every single day. Now, I know that might sound a bit out there, but stick with me. Today, we're going deep into how the wisdom of Stoicism, combined with modern strategies, can unlock a life of greater satisfaction and achievement. This isn't just about thinking positive. It's about creating a magnet in your mind that attracts everything you've ever wanted. So, before we jump in, do me a quick favor. Hit that subscribe button. It's a simple way to show you appreciate the efforts we put into bringing you these insights. And trust me, you won't want to skip any part of this. We're about to uncover some life-changing ideas that can help you steer your life in directions you've always dreamt of, but perhaps never thought were possible. Let's get started and dive right into the heart of Stoicism and how it can be the game changer in your personal and professional life. Number 1. Thoughts and emotions. The idea that you can control your life by managing your thoughts and emotions might sound a bit like a superpower, but in reality, it's the core of Stoic philosophy. The Stoics believed that by mastering your internal state, you can influence your external reality. It's not about suppressing what you feel. Instead, it's about steering those feelings in a way that serves you better. Let's break it down. Think of your mind as a powerful tool, almost like a control room that dictates how you interpret and respond to what happens around you. Your thoughts and emotions are indeed powerful influences. They can dictate the quality of your day and even the direction of your life. Imagine them as a current pulling you along. If the current is positive, you'll likely see positive outcomes because you're open to them, expecting them, and thus more likely to make decisions that will lead to them. On the other hand, if you're constantly focused on the negatives, it's like setting yourself up for a self-fulfilling prophecy. The grocery store scenario perfectly illustrates this. If you go in thinking it's going to be a stressful experience, it probably will be. You'll be annoyed by the crowds, frustrated by the long lines, and maybe even forget a few items on your list because you're so flustered. Now, how do you shift this? It starts with awareness. Be mindful of your initial reactions and gently guide them toward more constructive paths. This isn't about ignoring the realities of life, but choosing a perspective that enhances your well-being. Let's say you're stuck in traffic. You can simmer in frustration, or you can see it as an opportunity to listen to your favorite podcast or an audiobook, transforming a negative scenario into a more positive experience. Applying Stoic wisdom doesn't require monumental changes overnight. It's the small shifts that accumulate and gradually steer your life in a more fulfilling direction. Remember, the goal isn't to feel good all the time. That's not realistic. But by managing your thoughts and emotions with the insight and clarity that Stoicism teaches, you're equipping yourself to handle whatever life throws at you with a greater sense of peace and resilience. Number 2. Focus on desires. When you think about what you really want in life, how clear are those visions? Clarity is key in Stoicism, as it teaches us to define our desires with precision, much like an architect draws up a detailed plan before the first brick is laid. This isn't just about knowing what you want, it's about understanding why you want it and how it aligns with your deeper values, which is a cornerstone of Stoic practice. It's the specificity that gives your goals their power. So let's say you're after a new job. A general wish like, "I want a better job," is too vague and scatters your mental energy. Instead, picture the exact kind of job you want. What industry is it in? What position? What kind of work environment do you thrive in? Is work-life balance important to you? When you're specific, it's like setting the coordinates in your life's GPS. You know exactly where you want to go, and you can start taking specific actions that lead directly to your destination. The same principle applies to any area of your life, whether it's improving your health, finding a relationship, or learning a new skill. For example, if your goal is to get healthier, define what that means for you. Does it involve losing weight, building strength, or perhaps running a marathon? Each of these goals requires different strategies and sets a clear path for what you need to do, like planning your diet or your training schedule. Stoic philosophy isn't just about enduring life's challenges, but actively shaping our lives through our desires and actions. By focusing precisely on what you want, you align your daily actions with your longer-term goals. This alignment reduces wasted effort and increases your efficiency and effectiveness, propelling you toward the life you've envisioned for yourself. Number 3. Belief and faith. Isn't it fascinating how the certainty of our beliefs can propel us forward or hold us back? This powerful force behind our actions often reflects what the Stoics teach us about the strength of inner conviction and the role of perception in our lives. The Stoics believed that it isn't events themselves that disturb us, but the views we take of them. Similarly, having a strong belief in your ability to achieve your desires isn't just helpful. It's essential. It's like fuel in your tank. Without it, you won't get far, no matter how great your plans are. Let's dive a bit deeper into why belief and faith are such game changers. Think about a time when you accomplished something you initially thought was out of reach. What shifted? At some point, you started to believe it was possible. You saw some progress, perhaps, or someone else's story inspired you. That belief then sparked a series of actions that ultimately led to your success. It's this faith in the possibility that unlocks our potential and drives us to pursue even the most daunting goals. Now, applying this to our daily lives and bigger dreams requires a conscious effort to cultivate belief. Begin by surrounding yourself with positive influences, people who uplift you and reflect the values and success you aspire to. Next, immerse yourself in knowledge. Read about others who have achieved what you want to achieve. Understand their mindset, their habits, and their strategies. Knowledge not only inspires, but also equips us with practical steps to emulate similar successes. But what about those moments of doubt? They're natural, but the Stoic approach would remind us to challenge them with logic and reason. Why shouldn't you succeed? If others can, why not you? Challenge each doubt with evidence of what you've already achieved and remind yourself of your capabilities. Over time, this practice reinforces your belief system, making it robust enough to withstand setbacks and fuel your continued efforts. Number 4, gratitude and appreciation. You know, one of the most transformative practices we can incorporate into our daily routine is the simple act of acknowledging what we already have. It's about shifting our focus from what's missing to what's present. This is a key tenet of Stoic philosophy, which encourages us to distinguish between what we can control and what we can't, and to foster a deep sense of appreciation for the former. By cultivating gratitude, we not only enhance our own well-being, but also set the stage for more abundance to flow into our lives. The Stoics weren't just about enduring hardship. They were big on appreciating the beauty of life, the little victories, and the lessons learned even in defeat. They knew that gratitude strengthens the soul, making us more resilient to life's inevitable challenges. So how can we make this ancient wisdom actionable today? Start simple. Perhaps at the end of each day, reflect on 3 things that went well or that you were grateful for. These don't have to be groundbreaking events. Maybe you enjoyed a quiet cup of coffee, or maybe a stranger smiled at you on the street. It's about finding value in the small moments. What this does is it rewires our brains to be more attuned to positive experiences. Over time, this mindset shift not only increases happiness, but also attracts more positivity. Our mindset, much like a garden, thrives when tended with care. If we water the seeds of gratitude, we cultivate a landscape rich with optimism and contentment. And let's not overlook the Stoic practice of reflecting on what could go wrong, a technique known as premeditatio malorum. This might seem counterintuitive to gratitude, but by considering the worst-case scenarios and realizing they are often either manageable or improvable, we actually foster a deeper appreciation for our current state. Practicing gratitude also has a way of magnifying what's good in our lives. It can transform our perspective, turning what we have into enough and more. It's about celebrating the existing riches of your life and, in doing so, unlocking the doors to even greater possibilities. So, challenge yourself to cultivate gratitude daily. It might just be one of the most rewarding journeys you embark on, filling your life with a profound sense of peace and a wealth of joy, just as the Stoics promised. Number 5. Inspired action. Taking steps towards your dreams might sound like a no-brainer, but how often do we find ourselves daydreaming about what we want without making real moves to get there? This gap between desire and action is where inspired action bridges the divide. Stoic philosophy underscores the importance of not just enduring life's events, but actively engaging in shaping them. It's about recognizing that while we may not control external events, we do control our efforts and responses. Inspired action is about being proactive, not reactive. It's the difference between wishing for a change and making it happen. For instance, if your goal is to improve your health, inspired action isn't just joining a gym. It's committing to going 3 times a week and setting realistic, incremental fitness goals. It means preparing healthy meals ahead of time instead of grabbing fast food. This type of action is fueled by clear intentions and a deep understanding of why these goals matter to you, aligning closely with the Stoic practice of thoughtful deliberation and purposeful living. The beauty of inspired action lies in its power to transform not just your circumstances, but also your mindset. Each step you take reinforces your commitment to your goals and your belief in your ability to achieve them. This isn't about massive leaps. Even small, consistent actions accumulate over time, leading to significant changes. For example, writing just 1 page a day can result in a complete book in less than a year, or a small daily savings can grow into a substantial fund. Stoicism teaches us to focus on the present moment and the actions we can take right now. Instead of getting overwhelmed by the entirety of our ambitions, we can break them down into what can be done today. This approach keeps us grounded and prevents the kind of paralysis that can come from feeling overwhelmed by our own dreams. To truly embrace inspired action, start by clarifying what you want to achieve and then brainstorm the steps that will get you there. Commit to making these steps as specific and actionable as possible. Then bring a level of mindfulness to this process, engaging with each task as not just a means to an end, but as an important part of a fulfilling journey. This mindfulness is what makes the action inspired, infusing it with energy and purpose, which is right in line with the Stoics' emphasis on living according to one's values. Number 6. Elimination of self-sabotage. Sometimes the biggest hurdles we face aren't from the outside world, but from within ourselves. It's almost like we have this inner critic that knows exactly how to undermine our efforts at just the wrong moments. This self-sabotage can be tricky because it often disguises itself as comfort or caution, but it's really fear holding us back. Recognizing and overcoming this can be one of the most liberating steps we take. Stoic philosophy, with its emphasis on self-awareness and control over one's reactions, provides a powerful framework to dismantle these internal barriers. Self-sabotage manifests in various ways, from procrastination and self-doubt to negative self-talk and beyond. The Stoics taught that we should not be disturbed by our impulses, but rather see them as opportunities to practice virtue and strengthen our character. When you catch yourself thinking, "I'll never be good enough to get that promotion," recognize this as a moment to practice courage and affirm your value. Shift that thought to, "I have as much right as anyone to earn that position, and I will take proactive steps to improve my skills and demonstrate my capability." Understanding why we self-sabotage is also crucial. Often, it's a fear of failure or a way to avoid stepping out of our comfort zones. Stoicism encourages us to question our perceptions and judgments, to see things for what they really are without the layer of emotion that often distorts reality. By confronting the reasons behind our self-sabotage, we can begin to untangle the deeper fears and start to address them directly. Another Stoic practice that can be particularly effective in combating self-sabotage is the premeditation of evils, visualizing potential challenges and setbacks as a way to mentally prepare for them. This can diminish the fear and anxiety that often lead to self-sabotage. For instance, if you're worried about a big presentation, spend time imagining what could go wrong and how you would handle it. This preparation not only reduces anxiety, but also equips you to deal more effectively with any situation that might arise. Building a routine that fosters positive habits can help reinforce self-discipline and reduce self-sabotage. The Stoics were big on routine because it creates a foundation of order and predictability, which can be incredibly empowering. Start with small, manageable changes that align with your goals and gradually build them into your daily life. Over time, these positive habits will start to override the patterns of self-sabotage, helping you to build momentum and confidence in your capabilities. Number 7. Vibrations and energy. It's fascinating to think about how much our internal state can impact the world around us. Just like a radio transmitter, we are constantly sending out vibes based on our feelings and attitudes, which in turn can attract similar energies back to us. This idea of vibrations and energy might sound a bit mystical, but it actually aligns quite well with Stoic principles, which emphasize the importance of maintaining a composed and positive internal state in the face of life's fluctuations. The Stoics understood that while we can't control what happens to us, we do have power over how we respond, and these responses send out ripples into the world. When you operate from a place of gratitude and positivity, you're more likely to attract opportunities and people that resonate with those frequencies. It's like tuning your personal radio to the best possible station and enjoying the music that comes with it. But how do you maintain this positive frequency, especially when challenges arise? It starts with mindfulness, being aware of your thoughts and emotions without immediately reacting to them. By observing your feelings, you give yourself the chance to respond with intention rather than impulse. This is a core Stoic practice, where the focus is on rationality and clear thinking. For example, if you encounter a setback at work, instead of spiraling into frustration or negativity, take a moment to assess the situation calmly. Ask yourself what can be learned and how you can grow from this experience. This kind of response not only keeps your vibrations high, but also opens up a pathway for more constructive outcomes. Furthermore, surrounding yourself with people who uplift and support you can significantly enhance your energy levels. Just as negativity can be contagious, so too can positivity. By choosing to spend time with those who embody the traits and energies you value, you reinforce your own desirable frequencies. These relationships act like amplifiers, boosting your signal and extending its reach. Incorporating practices that nurture a positive state of mind, such as meditation, journaling, or engaging in hobbies you love, can help stabilize your internal vibrations. These activities provide a reset button, helping you tune back into your best frequency, especially after a tough day. They remind you of your ability to find joy and satisfaction in simple pleasures, reinforcing the Stoic belief in the value of self-sufficiency and inner peace. Number 8. Resistance. We all have those moments where it feels like we're our own worst enemy, right? Where it seems like we're fighting against our own desires and goals, creating resistance where there should be motivation. It's almost as if there's an invisible force field stopping us from moving forward. This kind of internal resistance is not just frustrating, it can actually be quite perplexing. Why would we stop ourselves from pursuing what we truly want? Stoicism offers a unique lens through which to view this phenomenon, suggesting that resistance often stems from misaligned beliefs and misplaced judgments. Understanding and overcoming this resistance is akin to navigating through a maze. The first step is awareness, recognizing that the resistance exists and then digging deep to understand its roots. According to Stoic thought, many of our emotional responses are the result of false judgments. We might resist taking action on a new project or job opportunity because we've convinced ourselves that the potential negative outcomes outweigh the positives. Here, the Stoics would advise us to challenge these judgments by questioning their validity and realigning them with more rational, objective perspectives. Once we've identified the source of our resistance, the next step is to actively work through it. This involves reprogramming our thoughts to align more closely with our goals and values. For instance, if fear of failure is holding you back, remind yourself of the Stoic view that failure is not inherently bad. It's a natural part of human experience and a powerful opportunity for growth and learning. By shifting your perspective in this way, you gradually dissolve the resistance, turning barriers into stepping stones. Another Stoic strategy is to embrace challenges as part of the natural order of things. Just as nature faces storms and seasons of drought, so too must we face periods of struggle and resistance in our lives. Rather than fleeing from these challenges, Stoics recommend meeting them head-on with courage and resilience, trusting that we have the inner strength to overcome them. This doesn't mean that the path will always be easy, but it's through these efforts that we forge stronger characters and more fulfilling lives. Furthermore, actively practicing virtues like patience and perseverance can help ease the journey through resistance. Every small step taken in the face of resistance not only moves you closer to your goal, but also strengthens your resolve and self-discipline. This process of continual effort and overcoming is what builds true confidence and lasting change. Number 9. Time and patience. It's all too easy to want instant results in our fast-paced world, isn't it? We plant seeds in our gardens and personal lives and then peek every few minutes to see if they've sprouted yet. But just like nature, real growth, whether it's personal development, professional achievements, or even relationships, takes time and patience, something that Stoicism teaches us to embrace wholeheartedly. Stoic philosophy encourages us to appreciate the process itself, not just the end result. It's about understanding that everything has its season and that significant changes require a period of nurturing and waiting. For example, if you're working towards a major life goal like starting a new business or pursuing a degree, it's natural to feel impatient. However, embracing Stoic patience involves acknowledging that every step in the process is necessary and valuable, even those that seem to slow us down. This perspective shifts our focus from being solely outcome-oriented to finding value in the everyday journey. Each challenge faced and obstacle overcome contributes to our growth and should be seen as an integral part of the adventure. This doesn't mean we passively wait for things to happen. Instead, we actively engage in the process, applying ourselves diligently while knowing that some results simply cannot be rushed. It's like watering a plant. You provide it with what it needs, but you can't pull on the leaves to make it grow faster. Moreover, Stoicism teaches us to use this time wisely. While waiting for one goal to materialize, we can work on other aspects of ourselves or our lives. This could mean developing a new skill, deepening relationships, or simply taking time to reflect and meditate. Each of these activities enriches our lives and often ends up contributing to our primary goals in unexpected ways. Being patient also means being comfortable with uncertainty, another Stoic virtue. Sometimes, despite our best efforts, things don't go as planned. Here, the Stoic practice of staying present and adapting to circumstances without losing our inner peace becomes invaluable. It helps us maintain our composure and keeps us resilient against the frustrations that come with delays or setbacks. Number 10. Alignment with the universe. Sometimes it feels like life is just a series of random events, but what if there's a pattern or a flow to it that we're just not seeing? This idea of aligning with the universe might sound a bit out there, but it's deeply rooted in the principles of Stoicism, which teach us about harmony and living in accordance with nature. By tuning into the rhythm of life and accepting that things happen for a reason, we can find a profound sense of peace and purpose. Stoic philosophy encourages us to live in agreement with nature, which includes the natural laws of the universe and our own true nature. This means understanding our roles and duties in life and acting in ways that are consistent with those responsibilities. For example, if you're naturally a creative person, aligning with the universe could mean pursuing a career or hobby that allows you to express that creativity rather than suppressing it in a job that doesn't suit you. But alignment isn't just about personal fulfillment. It's also about recognizing the interconnectedness of all things. The Stoics believed that everything in the universe is interdependent, and by aligning ourselves with this natural order, we contribute to a greater harmony. This might involve making choices that are not only good for ourselves, but also beneficial for others and the world at large. It's about making decisions that resonate with the deepest truths of how the world works. Practically, this can be achieved by paying attention to the signals life sends us. Sometimes we ignore our intuition or the little signs that suggest we're on the right path or a detour. By being more mindful and reflective, we can start to notice these cues and use them as guides. Regular meditation or spending time in nature can help cultivate this awareness, creating quiet spaces in our lives where we can connect with the flow of the universe. Another aspect of aligning with the universe is learning to accept and flow with the changes and challenges that come our way. Stoicism teaches us to embrace whatever happens, both the good and the bad, as part of a larger plan. This doesn't mean being passive. It means actively adapting and finding ways to thrive within the circumstances we find ourselves in. For instance, if you encounter a setback, rather than resisting or lamenting it, you can look for the opportunity it might be presenting. Perhaps it's a chance to learn something new, to develop resilience, or to take your life in a new direction. Thank you for spending this time with us today and diving into the profound wisdom of Stoicism. Remember, the journey to aligning with the universe and embodying Stoic principles is a continuous path of growth and discovery. If you're looking to deepen your understanding and practice, be sure to check out the suggested video popping up on the screen now. It's designed to further guide you on this transformative journey. Thanks for being a part of the Stoic Journal community, where we explore not just how to live, but how to live well.